Good evening and welcome to the September 14th meeting of the Falmouth Conservation Commission. Before we get started, just a couple of things. Electronic devices or cell phones, if you could silence them or please turn them off, greatly appreciated. If you're here to speak on an application, we encourage you to do so. Welcome it. We just ask that you come to the podium, speak into the microphone, give your name for the recording secretary and for the record. If you have to move away from the podium, take the mic with you. We're also being recorded by FCTV, and that's for the benefit of the people that might be watching. And that's it.
And just remind people about Bay Shores and Southview that they're going to be continued because Chuck is going to have a presentation, so it might be.
Okay, so anyone here for Southview Way or Bay Shores? That meeting has been continued till next week.
Sorry about that, ma'am. It was late in the day, but it will be next week. I apologize for that. It'll be the
Week from tonight.
21st? 22nd?
21st.
21st.
Sorry about that. Okay, so first up on the agenda tonight is any Southview Way also. Okay. First on the
I don't even know
agenda
what I'm
tonight is
doing.
minutes from the July 20th meeting. Anyone read them? Any comments?
I read them, I was absent that night, but I did notice one error, there was, it was just a misspelled word. Joyce was in there as Joyce. I think it was, I think it was on page 2, I don't seem to,
I didn't even know, Joyce.
I can look if you want. She could do a search for the word and.
Oh, shoot, I gotta go downstairs.
Did you hear that, Susan? The word joist, or joist?
Joyce is what's in here,
Joyce.
the woman's name Joyce, and it should be Joyce. So you could just search for Joyce, I think, and
Next week.
And it's supposed to be what?
Joyce, Joist.
Okay, I'll fix it.
Okay, anything else? Gordon, you good with that? Good with that? Jamie? How about a motion to accept the 20th?
Motion to accept as discussed.
Second.
Second, so we have a motion and a second. Motion by Jamie, second by Mary, to accept the July 20th minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those
Aye.
opposed, no. Abstentions, nay. So you abstain?
Not present.
Okay, so Mark abstained. August 24th minutes.
I don't have
I don't have those either. I don't.
Those were sent out, right? I got an email on those. Yeah, I did read the email. I didn't get the hard copy.
I don't recall them.
You want to table those? Motion to table. Someone want to make a motion?
Move to table the August 24th meeting, minutes.
Okay.
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed,
Who
no.
seconded?
Jamie. Abstentions? Okay, unanimous. So moved. How about August 31st?
We have two of those.
One was the executive.
Which one do you want to do first?
We do both, no?
Well, the executive,
That's all I have on that.
okay,
Just add that word.
okay.
Where are we?
That's the executive session.
Which one?
That's
Coming
August
down.
31st. That's the executive, just, there was one addition to it.
Just add a
Minor.
word that was missing.
Okay.
Okay, anything else on the executive session minutes? Nothing? Okay, so can I get a motion?
Move to adopt as corrected.
Second.
This is for the executive session minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Abstentions? Okay, unanimous, so moved. Now, the regular meeting on the 31st.
On page one where Betsy made the motion to, it says, go into executive session to discuss strategy with respect to anticipated litigation. I think that was revised. She revised herself to say proposed mediation rather than litigation.
Mary, I copied that right off.
Okay, I'm mistaken then.
Yeah, I thought there was mediation too.
I mean, that's what we were discussing. It wasn't litigation. It's
Yeah.
proposed mediation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that might have been a mistake on Betsy's part, because
I
weren't we
just copied
corrected
what
on
they
that?
gave me.
Yeah, I'll
It was
fix it.
printed
Yeah,
like
we'll fix it.
Yeah,
I'll fix it.
okay.
And then the only other thing was, on page 4, I had requested a change to the plan. It says if you're going to make a change, but more specifically, I said if you're gonna make other changes to the plan anyway, please also make this one. So I'll just pass that down.
Anything else from anybody? Okay, can I get a motion?
Motion to
Thank you.
accept as discussed.
Second.
So motion to accept by Jamie, and the second by Mary, and this is the regular meeting,
Yep.
okay? All those in favor say aye. All
Aye.
those opposed, no. Abstentions, unanimous, so moved. Very good. Okay, so the request for continuance under a determination of applicability. George Crocker, 29 Charles River Road, and George Crocker, 29
Who am I missing? Oh, Russell.
Charles River Road. These are both continued, Jen?
Both continue to the 21st, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Is it reason?
Mark is still working with the applicant's representative.
Thank you.
Move to continue both RDAs to September 21st.
Second.
Motion by Mary, second by Jamie. Any other comments or questions? Comments, questions from the public? Hearing none, call for the vote. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. Abstentions, unanimous, so moved. Request for determination of applicability. This is the lesser of the two applications. If you're here for one of these, what you want to hear is a negative determination. First up is, negative means you can go ahead with your project. Positive means you might even have to step it up.
A positive means they'll be filing a notice of intent, Mr. Chairman.
I was trying to be nice about it, Jen.
I know.
Positive is negative.
Positive is
Okay,
not a bad
so
thing.
first up is Quistit Association care of Nancy Babin, 15 Cary Lane, Woods Hole, Mass, with permission to remove 5 dead trees and prune limbs, remove invasive vines, replant eroded and open undergrowth with native plant species, and add landscape stones. Jen?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we are recommending a -2 under the state and the bylaw, -2 under the bylaw, and -3 under the state with the resource area boundaries not confirmed.
So moved.
Second.
A motion by Mary, second by Jamie. Any other comments or questions from the board? Comments, questions from the public? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Abstentions, unanimous, so moved. Paul DePoe, 12 Seabrook Drive, East Falmouth, Mass, for permission to reconstruct and expand the existing deck, reconstruct another deck, and to install native shrub plantings. Jen?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we are recommending a -2 under the state and the bylaw with the resource area boundaries not confirmed.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Courtney, second by Mary. Any other comments or questions from the board? Comments, questions from the public? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Abstentions, unanimous, so moved. The next two have been continued already. That's 29 Charles River Road. And then we're at Dana Hastings, trustee, 8 Rice Street, West Falmouth, Mass, for permission to pump, fill, and abandon the existing cesspool and to install a fixed activated sludge treatment, FAST, denitrification system with 126 linear feet of 8-inch thick poured concrete retaining wall, approximately 2 foot high. Jen?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we're recommending a -2 under the state and the bylaw with the resource area boundaries not confirmed.
So moved.
I just have a question. This came as a notice before and?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, and then
changed
they've
it?
made the changes to do the D-night, and it is, it's pretty far away, and the D-night is an improvement, so we're trying to make it less burdensome on them.
Okay, so we have a motion by Mary. Do I get a second?
You are right, Krista.
Am I gonna give you a second?
Second.
Okay, motion by Mary, second by Jamie. Any other comments or questions from the board? Comments or questions from the public? Hearing none, I'll call for vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Abstentions unanimous, so moved. Dennis and Patricia Calkins Martin, 6 Hamlin Point Road, Walkaway, Mass., for permission to construct a 12 by 18-foot three-season room on an 18 by 18-foot deck. Jen?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, -2 under the bylaw, -3 under the state.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mary, second by Jamie. Any other comments or questions?
You swap
Is this an existing deck or is this a new deck?
My assumption
On
is...
it's an existing deck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're creating the three-season room on the existing deck, so they're enclosing part of it, and they're leaving like a 6-foot
that's-
section of deck.
It just said on and deck.
Yeah,
That's
that,
all.
yeah, I can see your point.
Okay.
Now
So
that I
just
look
wanna
at it
know
like
there's
that, yeah.
existing.
No, there is an existing.
No problem.
Existing deck. Cool. Okay, anything else? Any comments, questions from the public?
Great.
Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Abstentions unanimous, so moved. Wilma Salkin and Ronna Levin, 120 Mill Road, Falmouth, Mass., with permission to pump, fill, and abandon the existing cesspool, install a new Title V sewage disposal system, and to loam and reseed lawn. Jen?
Yes, a -2 under the state and the bylaw with the resource area not confirmed,
So
Mr.
moved.
Chairman.
Second.
Motion by Courtney, second by Jamie. Any other comments or questions from the board? Comments, questions from the public? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Abstentions unanimous, so moved. Michael and Linda Conley, Lot 2, Gunning Point Ave, Falmouth, Mass., for permission to approve the construction of a 4 foot by 4 foot lookout platform and a 25-foot vista prune. Jen?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we are recommending
Motion to approve.
a -2 under the state and the bylaw with the resource, no, a negative, he's got these all screwy. -2 under the state and the bylaw. We'll go with that one.
Okay,
So moved.
Question?
absolutely, Courtney.
Just maybe the phrasing, the wording of this is
Yeah.
awkward.
Permission to
It-
construct.
Are we giving permission to approve something that's already been constructed?
No, basically what it is they have a proposed house. You approved a proposed house. They are attempting to, they would like to put a little platform there
Yeah.
and vista prune to open up
Yeah,
the
I'm just
vista
thrown off by
window
the wording,
to,
for permission to approve.
approve.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you say just permission to construct?
Just
I
one of
mean,
those things.
I don't mean to sound like I'm splitting hairs, but
but you
Yeah,
are.
it is
That's-
confusing.
Yeah,
I
no,
had
it
to
is.
read it twice.
Yeah,
No,
no,
it's
it is,
odd.
so basically they have a house and they're just adding, they're asking to really just put a little teeny tiny lookout platform.
no
So
problem.
they climb up and then you can see over the,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool, that's not a problem.
I'm
Just a
happy.
word
usually
on it.
we have some concerns with allowing vista pruning prior to a house being constructed because you don't really know where that house is gonna be situated. But we've made it clear that this is, you're gonna do this is your vista window. If a new buyer comes in and all of a sudden they want the vista window shifted that way, well, you have an established vista pruning window, and that was made very, very clear to the Realtor.
Fair enough. Okay, so who made the,
I did,
Mary, and who seconded?
I don't think we have a second.
Okay, Jamie seconded it.
Who second?
Jamie. Any other comments or questions? Comments, questions down here? No? Comments, questions from the public? Okay, hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Abstentions unanimous, so moved. Diane Matthews, 93 Lucerne Ave, Falmouth, Mass., for after-the-fact permission to remove and replace the existing concrete wall and replace with new concrete block retaining wall within the same footprint. Jen?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we are recommending a -2 under the bylaw and -3 under the state with the resource area boundaries not confirmed.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Courtney, second by Mary. Any other comments or questions from the board?
Where
Comments,
is,
questions?
is this in a A, B, C, D, E, F, G zone?
Well, what do you,
It seems like it's,
oh, this is, yeah, I know, this is the one where we stopped them. It's in an actual A zone to, it's along a little pond, so.
Okay. So there was,
We stopped them from doing the work, but then the whole site was exposed, so we allowed them to finish with the thing that, we would have allowed the work, so we had them file in after the fact,
okay.
and scared the poor kid doing the work.
Anything else from the board? Anything else from the public? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. Abstentions unanimous, so moved. Paul and Robin Lyons, 53 Yacht Club Road, East Falmouth, Mass., for permission to remove 4 pine trees and replace with 5 to 7 foot tall eastern red cedars with the associated care and maintenance for survival. Jen?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we're recommending a -2 under the state and the bylaw with the resource area boundaries not confirmed.
So moved.
So moved.
Jamie, and I'll give the second to Courtney.
I'll second.
Associated maintenance for survival. Okay. Any other comments or questions from the board? Comments,
It's
questions? from the-
replacement line, 4 and 4,
What's that?
4 and 4. Doesn't really say, but it does imply.
Yeah, was it,
it says, oh, what is it?
Jen?
What?
It says you know, removing 4 pine trees and replacing, so it's 4 for 4?
Three eastern red cedars.
Oh, that's-
3.
yeah, 3, that's- Tall,
Where does it say 3?
Yeah,
3 eastern red cedars are proposed.
Oh, right.
Okay.
okay.
Closer to the wetland for tree replacement.
That's funny, because it doesn't say that on mine.
Yeah, it says right here. 3
Look
eastern.
under the
Oh,
one,
okay, I'm
two,
reading it now.
4th paragraph,
Yeah.
Yeah.
first word, 3.
Thank you.
It didn't. Looking
at the agenda.
I'm looking at the agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry, I
That's
was
why.
like, what am I missing?
I read it 4 without the.
Yeah, don't worry about
places, So it's 3 for 4, okay.
Well,
Yeah.
it doesn't sound like it's mitigation. It wasn't their fault, I don't think.
I know, just go with the first one.
The first one.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Questions or comments from the public? Hearing none, call for the vote. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. Abstentions unanimous, so moved. Town of
Replace
Falmouth, Marine Environmental Services, care of Brad Chase, 26 Tecma
Nope.
Way, map 30-01-17-024, East Falmouth, Mass. With permission to remove the existing 12-inch pipe from Bourne's Pond
that's
to Bog Pond and replace with a 3-foot wide by 1.5-foot height concrete trench to remove the existing rear structure with an excavator, install a weir pool, concrete fishway, to remove the concrete flume located in the stream between Kale's Pond and Bog Pond, and to reduce the slope and plant native
That's the same thing,
shrubs.
trust me.
And plant native shrubs. Jen?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, are you gonna give a presentation, Chuck? Sure. Okay, great.
Good evening, Chuck.
What's that?
Good evening.
Good evening.
That really, that should have been on here. 'Cause that's what-
No, I know, and I didn't see you reading this, I thought you were reading your thing.
I don't read
Yeah.
out of that.
I'm like, what paragraph? Yeah.
That's the record.
No, I know. I know, I read this real quick, yeah. I see where you got confused.
Sam. Actually, you just have to read along with us. No, yours is different because mine's just all jumbled up. Yeah.
Yes.
No. Okay, so there's like basically 3 projects in here. 2 of them are getting a positive, 1 of them's getting a negative. That's okay. I'm here to talk you through it.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Really, it was super stuffy when we walked in
It's
here, and
not a
now they have
bad
the
idea.
air conditioning on. Sam? Susan's freezing. I don't care what Kevin says. And Kevin can give her his jacket. Susan's freezing. Do you need one of the keys, Sam? I have one.
The air conditioner.
Oh, look.
And
Oh, the
hot
box is
flashes,
gone.
Sam? And hot flashes?
No, he's doing the opposite.
Poor Sam. Thank you, Chuck.
Good evening. My name is Chuck Martinson. I'm the Deputy Director of Marine Environmental Services, as well as the Shellfish Constable and Herring Warden as well. Thank you for allowing me to come in this evening. We look to move forward with an RDA on a portion of the packet that you have in front of you this evening. I have about a 7 to 10 minute presentation I'll be happy to go through. This presentation was put together by Brad Chase from the Division of Marine Fisheries. He is speaking this evening at an Elver conference in New Jersey, so he unfortunately could not make it. But I have been involved with him on the project since the beginning of it, so I should hopefully be able to answer most of your questions. The area that we're looking to do some work is in the area of essentially Wacoit Bay to Bourne Pond. It's located in the Wacoit area. Right up top here we have Wacoit Bay. This is the river system which comes into Caleb Pond. From Caleb Pond there's a small creek which proceeds northwesterly to Bog Pond. This section right here, I believe it's listed as number 3. There's a concrete structure which is there, which I believe was formerly used as a roadway to bring vehicles or possibly livestock across at some point. This area, number 2, which is on the map here, is the proposed replaced fishway that we hope to replace. And then finally, up here, this area number 1, this is the unlit pipeway which goes from Bog Pond to Bourne Pond. There was a causeway which was constructed here, essentially separating the 2 systems, thereby creating a very small pathway or stream system between the 2. We will be coming back for this one under a full filing. We did speak with Chairman Robbins and Janet, had a site visit and came to the agreement that we will move forward with a full filing for that second half of the project. This right here is the existing fishway, which at this point is impassable for fish. The last few years we have observed and videotaped both herring and elvers downstream in this area. A few points of interest. Currently there's erosion which is taking place here. Since this photo was taken, there's actually more erosion there than there currently is in this photo. This head wall is starting to come apart, and essentially the system no longer can pass fish. This area was brought to our attention by Mr. Simpson, who's the property owner, indicating that there were fish there for a number of years that we're trying to get up there. We did have some discussions with some older individuals in town who have some great institutional knowledge, and they indicated that there was indeed a very active fish run that was here. And some of the initial reports, historic reports, were that in the north end of Wacoit Bay there was actually very good striped bass fishing, because the striped bass would be attracted to the north end of the bay from all the herring that were using this area. A little bit of the project history. The dike was constructed, which I showed you between Bourne and Bog Pond in 1916. In 2006, Town of Falmouth and the property owner discussed river herring restoration options. In 2008, the Town of Falmouth requested the Mass Division of Marine Fisheries assistance in doing some monitoring. In 2010, we began a 2-year habitat assessment. This fell under the normal habitat assessment that's used by the division in looking at repairing systems. They investigated the feasibility and possible design options. In 2015, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife completed scoping design for replacement of the fish ladder, and DNF conducted initial water elevation monitoring. These are different areas where the habitat assessment work was done by the Division of Marine Fisheries. This is the daylight project part for between Bourne Pond and Bog Pond. I'm going to just skip through this because we have agreed to go to a full filing for that, so we'll just move ahead. There were 2 options for the actual fishway down below that were looked at. One was the Danielle-style fishway option. A few of the interesting pieces to this, unfortunately, you probably can't see it, but there's a very faint line right here and up in here, which unfortunately does not come out very well on this slide. However, the few aspects of this specific option that made it problemsome was, first of all, we would have to be outside of our initial footprint, and we wanted to stay within our footprint. And also the Danielle-style fishway or the steep pass systems, which are somewhat similar, require quite a bit of water. This system's unique in that it has a very limited amount of water that goes through it. And that being said, essentially the drought that we're in right now makes it a very good time for us to do work in the area, and the water levels are such that they're very low right now. So we're really interested in moving forward with this project shortly. The second option that was looked at was a weir and pool fishway option. And that system, again, was going to be, would be able to take place in the actual current footprint which exists now. The water, we did some water data work in the area, upstream side, downstream side. I wanted to point out a few things of interest. If you see here these jump ups, this from essentially around July 15th to July 23rd, that's when we had significant moon tides. So there is water that backs up to the lower end of the fish run. So when we do the project, we are proposing a small dewatering system in there with sandbags and a pump and a generator. We would propose to do both sides. We will obviously be looking to do it at a time that's feasible in the moon cycle, but we also want to be prepared because this does happen, and it is a possibility to have some tidal backup in the area. As you can see, the water flow is pretty consistent. The water height is pretty consistent, rather. This is the downstream side, and if you look here, there's I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a pre-existing pad which exists. We're proposing reconcreting this pad and essentially using this footprint as the base to the fish weir system. This is a kind of a cross sketch of it. If you look at it, there's each step up is going to be 3.5 inches. It'll be V-notched. The boards will be V-notched. Everything will be concrete in this area and would have rebar added to it for structural integrity underneath. This is a top-down view of the system. I do want to add that we will be cutting into the head wall on this side to essentially fuse those 2 head walls together and create the distance that we need up top to make that happen. This is the second downstream flume. I wanted to show this just to the committee so that you guys were aware of it. This is another structure which really serves absolutely no purpose at this point except for blocking fish passage. As you know, when herring make it here, they've done their 3 years in the ocean. They're the ones that survived. It's the most critical time for them in their life to make it up to spawn, and this slows them down and essentially adds to the predation issue that they have and everything else. This was the old cart road which comes across. This is critical to remove. Certainly, if it's the wish of the commission for us to hold off on this part of the project as well and do a full filing on it, we'd be happy to. But I did want to highlight that that is a very important piece to this project in allowing fish, kind of unhampered access to the pond. I know that was relatively quick. I'm sure there's some questions which I'd be happy to answer. I don't want to hold you here all night, but I'll give you a quick.
Thank you, Chuck.
Sure.
Jen?
No, just to assure the board, Russell and I went out there with Chuck and Greg Frazier, the Director of Marine Environmental Service, a week or so ago, Chuck?
Right.
And looked at all three of the areas that they want to work on. The one that I feel was the most appropriate to go into the RDA was the what are we calling it, the fish
Number
weir?
2,
The Fishway. I then went out, was it Tuesday morning? Yeah, I think Tuesday morning with Brad Chase and Ed Clark of the Division of Marine Fisheries. Ed Clark will be the gentleman doing the work on the ground. I just needed to get a better idea of their methodology and how they were doing the work. I spent about an hour out there with them, going through how they were going to do the work, looking at the dike area and looking at the proposed daylight, the daylighting project. I am pretty comfortable with the way that Ed said he would be doing the work, especially since that existing pad is there, so the footprint is not going to be increased. So your staff's pretty comfortable with it. They're going to let me know when they're going to start work. They'd like to start work at I think it's the last week in September, Chuck?
Correct.
I've asked them to let us know when they're going to be out there so we can go out and get a better comfort level of the division doing these types of projects, because I'm sure we're going to see more of them.
Yeah, just to add to that, the Division of Marine Fisheries conducts rebuilds throughout the state. They have a technician who works with them. He's been with them for 25
He was
30
good,
years. He has done literally hundreds of these. He's very skilled at what he does. He's very competent in what he does as well. We'll also have a few of our staff members who will be down there assisting in the project. We have also secured the signed license agreement from the Simpson family with agreement from the 300 committee as well, who holds the CR on property.
So at this point, the staff will be recommending a -2 under the state and the bylaw for the Chuck, fish.
Number 2, yeah, the fish, we'll call it
The-
fish.
Yeah, the Fishway design, the number 2 option. And then I'll be working with, I'll be working with Chuck and possibly the town engineering staff to properly permit the other two aspects of this area.
So moved.
I just have a question.
Sure.
Is it advantageous to remove that stream flume now while we are in a drought?
Which stream flume?
The stream, the very last thing that Chuck was mentioning
The
on
Kayla
there.
Pond one?
This right here, the last page,
Yeah.
that dike.
There's gonna be a lot of excavation work out there, and when I was out there with Brad Chase and Ed, from a fish biology standpoint, Brad said he would like to see it go. They are making their way around it on the back side, so
It's scouring.
Yeah, it's scouring on the other
sand,
side.
So
it's not critical, in their minds, and you can double check with them and confirm this, they didn't seem that it was critical. Ed actually said it could.
Brad did indicate, however, that he did think that if we could do it while we were in there at one point,
That's what I
it would
was
be better to
thinking.
do it all at once. instead
You're
of-
gonna have to take that out, you're gonna have to regrade those slopes, you're gonna have to stabilize those slopes, it's a lot more work than what they're doing out there. And your staff would be uncomfortable doing that under the RDA. I understand where you're going, but
I'm
there's
just
a
trying to
lot
think
more
instead
that
of
we would
one
have
hit
to
with
go
a
in
machine
there.
out there, then
The machine can get out there anyway, because, I mean, there's pretty clear paths with machine going out there from when, not from where you walk down, but where we walk down. The little mini excavator can go, and then once the fish weir's done, they're gonna grate that, and it'll be able to get right over there. I mean, it's not gonna be, you're not gonna be creating another access point or another construction access to get that excavator in there. You see what I'm saying?
If I could just add one thing, might I suggest that if it is older concrete and pretty heavy duty stuff, and I'm wondering about the ability to remove it by hand and not by equipment, if we had the ability to do that and not bring equipment down there, is that something?
I think you're gonna have to, because I don't think you're gonna be able to do it. And then again,
So we don't know if this is block or
grading those
solid.
slopes back and everything else.
So we do have some experience with removing concrete from these older systems, one of which was up at Pond 14, where we actually put a larger pipe in there to allow cool water around it, and we were able to do that one all by hand. It was certainly labor intensive, however we were able to do it. But again, if the staff certainly is, comfortable with us moving forward with this one, this is the critical piece, but,
well, that's why when he said critical piece, that's why I was a little concerned about it.
Yeah.
Claudia, did you have something?
Well, I just was gonna kind of agree with you, as the guys out there working. I realize there's additional grading, but there is a cost to just getting the excavator out of the barn and bringing it out there, and then taking it home, and then bringing it back another day.
Well, I mean, the excavator's gonna be out there when they do the daylighting project anyway, so.
Yeah,
And they're
true.
not that far away from each other. So, I mean, when they do the daylighting project, they're gonna have the excavator out there, so then they can just go and get that piece too. And I would permit that in the daylighting project, and I told Brad this, under one notice. I wouldn't make them two separate projects, I would do them together.
Did you have?
Do we have a sense of how soon that could be done, given that the drought conditions are favorable?
I'm sorry.
There's the other two pieces,
The other two pieces?
or just this one?
So the other, if they were to be combined, it would probably be this winter, we would be filing, probably looking to do next fall for construction. But we're ready to move forward with whatever we need to do, either, section 2, which is the Fishway, or section 1 and 2, which is this and the Fishway. We would do both.
What's that, man?
Yeah.
Did you have something, Mark?
Yeah, I'd like to know, this looks like it's a pretty well vegetated area. What kind of equipment do you need to use, and how do you get to the work area? And what kind of staging area? Do you need
Sure.
anything like that?
It's
Yeah,
a
just
great
like-
question, yeah. So as Jen indicated, there is 2 separate paths that come around into this one area. One comes from Mr. Simpson's property, and that is to the north. And then there's another one which comes in from the west, which I believe Mr. Robbins walked around.
Yeah, that's the one you went to.
So he could give you a first-hand report of the condition on that side. But it is,
Duck a lot.
I would say it's, a lot of it is bullbriar in this lower area. There are, along the edge of the area, there are, roadies, some other plantings which are non-native. But there's a significant amount of bullbriar there.
Well, do you have to bring in equipment? Do you have to bring in a cement mixer?
We
or
would,
a
no,
backhoe?
we will be mixing everything by hand. Yep.
So you'll be humping in on pickup trucks?
Yes, we'll have, we
You can
have,
get a gator down there or a little mini truck down there. I mean, it's
we're
that
going to
clear.
try to do it by hand, though.
Yeah.
Do you have to
We do,
improve the path in any way? Do you have to put gravel down or something, or do you just hope it's
No.
dry enough and you can just?
no, there's this, it is dry enough, certainly right now. There are 2 paths from the north that comes in, one water access and one directly down from the hill. Jen, are you comfortable
They're,
with that?
yeah, Mark, they're pretty wide
They're-
grass paths. It's pretty like,
And they've been, you
I don't
can
wanna
tell
say
they've been used for
manicured or
years.
landscape, but they're
Years.
pretty
Yeah.
bit wide. From where that structure is right there, from where I'm sitting is probably to that wall from where that other little fish weir, that we're replacing is. So you just go out that path, and it's kind of hard to explain, but then that whole area is vegetated. So it's, I mean, it's not that
weir was
deep
sitting
into
in
the
its spot
woods.
right now,
Yeah,
if that weir was sitting in its spot, the fish passage area would be right.
Yeah, it's not
wall.
that far
It's
away.
right there, yeah, so.
and they're wide paths, so if you can get like a mini excavator, they can just scoot right down there.
So you don't have to clear out a work area?
No,
or
no, they have
staging area?
areas to dewater, they have areas for staging. I went over all of this with Brad Chase and Ed Clark.
And you'll be able, once we get, once they come in with a notice, you'll be able to go down and see it. So 'cause
Yeah.
that's when the,
Jen, do you ever condition RDAs?
We do,
I mean, this is, there's a lot of work, there is
well,
work right at the
we're not taking that out right now.
No, not that one.
Not
The other-
that one, the other
part's
one,
right
yes.
in the stream.
Yeah, we will. We'll be working with the Division of Marine Fisheries and putting some conditions on there, and we're gonna be down there. The Division of Marine Fisheries they're basically not looking to adversely affect the pond or the stream either. I mean, they have to take that pad out and pour a new concrete pad, but they are putting it in the same footprint. And I did discuss certain conditions with them out on the field.
Good.
Yeah. Like dewatering and staging and, sandbagging go back to the other one. Chuck,
Oh,
can you
sorry.
click back, sorry.
Which one would you like to go to? The beginning?
That one,
This one right here, ready?
yeah, so they're going to be sandbagging the end of the weir in Bog Pond, which is fairly low right now. It's really low. And so that'll be really easy for them to sandbag that area and protect that area while they're doing the work on that weir. And that area where the weir is what, the size of this table, Chuck?
Right.
It's not that big of an area.
So, can I ask, you feel like we should wait, it should go under a notice for this other area?
The area where that dam, although Ed didn't like calling it a dam, that dike area, and the area where they want to do the daylight sluice way. They want to take the pipe out and put an actual, almost open culvert in, for lack of a better term. That will go under a notice, and then the little fish ladder that Chuck explained to you with the different boards will go under the RDA.
But this Caleb can't go under the RDA, you didn't feel?
the staff's not comfortable with it.
I
I would like to see it go, but I'm reluctant to go
I'm
against
just,
staff wishes,
I'm just,
you know?
because we don't have enough
Yeah.
information how they're gonna grade the slopes or anything like that, or stabilize the slopes or anything like that.
Because
I mean, if the board feels comfortable with it, I mean, it's your decision. We'll go out and we'll work with the division and condition it that the slopes are stabilized and everything else. It's really up to you.
I'd like to see that, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I didn't want to,
Is that something you guys
have
could
you
do
guys,
this
we gotta
time?
support our
At the same
staffs.
time?
and-
Okay, that's
but
fine.
to me, what Chuck's saying, he feels it's a critical thing, and with the water levels where they are, it's probably a lot easier to do that now.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
I agree.
so we wanna take the dike out and the,
And the fish ladder. Well, they're gonna do the fish ladder and then,
it might get kicked back to you, but okay.
okay?
Yes.
You're gonna run that rest, Chuck, they might kick it back. DEP might kick it back to us. But, I don't think they're gonna have any issue with the fish ladder. But,
And whatever we can do to
Yeah.
certainly bring the
I'll
board's
touch
level, the
base
staff's
with-
level of
Yeah.
comfort up on.
That's what you
Yeah,
gotta
I'll
do
touch
with staff,
Whatever needs to be done.
yeah, I'll touch base with Brad tomorrow and let him know that that structure will be out, and I'll have to go back out there with them, and I'll need more detail on how they're gonna stabilize those slopes and everything like that. Okay?
Would it make sense for you to put together some more information and have another RDA in a week or two?
We
Or
could
does that-
potentially do that and start on the other one.
You know
It
what,
would be
all the
really-
information they can just give to me,
Yeah.
and we'll
All
just
right.
It is,
incorporate
however,
it.
really important that we do move forward, immediately with that
Excellent.
middle one right away.
Right.
I really think that we need
Well,
to
yeah,
just-
I'm sort of thinking that if they're separate and there's a problem with the second one, it won't hold up the first one.
I'm almost thinking we'll let staff, administrative
We'll
decision
figure it
on
out.
that.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
we'll
let
figure it
them
out.
work with these guys, because they work good with us. My concern was that Chuck felt it was critical, and he's just self-first ward.
Brad didn't, I mean, they weren't that concerned of it out in the field. I mean, it was the middle one and then the sluice way. Because it is scouring on that other side, but, like I said, Brad, from a fish biology point of view, wanted it gone, but was comfortable with permitting it, but,
So what's happening now is it's essentially scouring that bank.
yeah, it's going around
Which silhouettes
it.
the fish, because it's a different color than the dark bottom of the river, which normally exists. So the fish are silhouetted under a totally different color, because that bank is eroding. So functionally, they can swim through
Yeah.
there. But if you're standing on top of it and you're looking down and you're a bird, you don't
There
have
you-
that
there-
color.
there they
I mean,
are.
there's a white bottom, and there's a big blue back on a herring, you know what I mean? Not a dark river bottom with the dark back silhouetted on it. So that's kind of a piece to it that I don't want to lose that, and that's what the issue is here. So
Okay.
you see that in other systems as well when they get eroded out. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we should take a shot,
Alright.
see what they can do it.
All right, I'll give Brad
So I
a
think
call
it's
tomorrow.
advantageous to do it
You're
right
gone
now.
tomorrow, right? So I'll
He's
touch,
New Jersey, but he'll be back on Monday.
oh yeah, okay, I'll touch base with them on Monday. And then get some more information on slope stabilization and everything from them on that one, okay? Excellent.
All right, somebody want to make a motion, please?
So basically, we'll do a negative turn to the state and the bylaw for the first two, and then the sluice way will go under a notice, so that'll be a positive 3.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Jen, for.
Not a
thank
problem.
you,
Thank you,
to
Chuck. Have a
everyone
great
for-
weekend. Congrats.
Thank you.
We'll
Any
see you
other
next
comments or
week.
questions?
What
Mark?
exactly are we conditioning, are we approving here? 'Cause the write-up here has all 3 projects sort of.
Yep, -2 for the,
She was.
what did we number them now?
The
So we
fish,
can go back through
we're doing the
this one
fish
down here,
here.
so
1, 2, and 3 is the sluice way?
I believe.
So 1 and 2 are gonna get the negative, and the 3 is gonna get the positive.
Correct.
We're gonna write it up that way.
Let's have a vote.
So that
Does
dam,
affect
and
one?
then the fish ladder, right?
Yep.
You get the
And
fish
then
ladder
the pipe
and the
with
dam,
the
which we've been
daylight
discussing.
sluice way is gonna be a positive, because we need to engineer that and everything else.
Okay.
Right? So we had a motion, right?
And I will be
Mary
so available.
made the
to
motion,
sign
seconded
that
it?
tomorrow, Susan?
Second?
Tomorrow,
Yeah.
Courtney seconded it?
Sure. Who seconded?
Courtney? Any other discussion? Any
They
other
volunteered
comments,
for it
questions from the
since he
public?
volunteered them for beer garden.
Okay, hearing none, I'll call for the vote then. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. Abstentions unanimous, so moved. Thank you, Chuck.
Thanks, Chuck. Night.
All right, next up is request for a hearing on a notice of intent. All hearings of the Falmouth Conservation Commission are held simultaneously
Here's my
under
agenda.
the authority of the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act and the Falmouth Wetlands Bylaw. Although the single decision of the commission is issued, it represents a separate decision under each authority. And
Yeah, I have no idea where my agenda is, Mr. Chairman. Hang on.
first is gonna be Bay Shores.
Oh, there it is.
He's gonna give us a vote on it to continue.
Beer garden.
You all set?
Yeah, I found it.
First up is Marita Trusla and John Ford Bay Shores Drive. Mike?
Mr. Chairman, on behalf of my client and applicant, I requested a one-week continuance to the hearing. We provided data sheets, but they were not provided 1 week prior to the hearing or with the application. Similarly, late, so Jen asked if we would request a continuance.
Okay. Jen? You good with that?
Yes, I'm good with that. What, is that 1 week? So that's the 21st, right, Mike? Is that what I promised you?
So I have a motion?
On behalf of the applicant, requested.
Yeah, you only have one
continuance
notice next week and no
till September
continuance.
21st.
First, do I have a second? Second?
Second.
Okay, Courtney. So a motion by Mary, second by Courtney. All those in favor of continuing the hearing until September 21st, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Abstentions unanimous, so moved.
Mr. Chairman, why don't you just table the next one, then scoot to Southview and then start again? Or just skip it? Just jump down to Southview.
Oh, yeah, David and Loretta Garson at 1 Southview Way, East Falmouth, Mass. Mike?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, we applied to MISA. MISA has 30 days to respond. They have not responded yet. We also resolved in the matter of some data sheets with Jen, and there's a couple of issues about some outstanding monitoring reports that we discovered just today. We're meeting with Blue Flags Design and Jen, so we'd like a one-week continuance.
Thanks, Mike. Motion?
Move to continue to September 21st.
Correct.
Motion to continue by Mary. Do I have a second? Mark?
Could I just mention one thing?
Absolutely.
There- We don't have a DD number in the file, just so,
Oh, that would be another reason.
yeah.
Thank you.
That might work out well. Okay, anything else? No. Any other comments, questions from the public? Okay, no, I'll call for the vote. To continue till September 21st. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Abstentions unanimous, so moved. Okay, now we're going back to Shelby and Janet Madari, 4 Nichols Road, Wacoit, Mass, for permission to remove the existing concrete retaining wall and replace with approximately 85 linear feet of vinyl sheet pile, bulkhead landward of the concrete wall, insert bulkhead stairs, remove vegetation, the associated clearing, excavating, grading, and landscaping. Jen?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I will save any of my comments until after Mr. Borselli's presentation.
Southview. This one's for Southview.
This is for Nichols.
4 Nichols.
Okay.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the commission. For the record, my name is Michael Borselli from Falmouth Engineering, and I represent the applicant, Shelby and Janet Madari. The Madaris recently acquired the property at 4 Nichols. The property is located on the westerly shore of Wacoit Bay, just directly to the north and with a common boundary with land of the town of Falmouth. It's the Wacoit Landing, or the boat ramp used by the public right next door, which is a paved parking lot and boat ramp. That's directly to the north. It separates our property, it's separated by our property by a common property here and a stone groin in this location. Nichols Road is on the west side over here. The wetland resources of note include land under the ocean. There's a small area of dune vegetation on the north side shaded in green. And this is, I guess, considered a coastal bank. It's an armored coastal bank because it currently has a failing concrete retaining wall. If you've been to the site, I think you will agree with me that the wall is in a state of failure. It's tipping and it's in, could collapse over any time. There's undermining behind the wall, deep depressions behind the wall. The notch out where the access stairs go is all collapsing. So the Madaris acquired in that condition and wish to fix it. So the application before you tonight is a proposal to fix that. We're proposing to use a vinyl sheet piling bulkhead. You're familiar with that. I've made applications for previous projects using the same system. In fact, there's one further south on Seapit Road near Ferry Road. I think you're familiar with the Ferry Road property. It's a much higher bulkhead, a different situation, but it's the same type of material and methodology for installation. So the application proposes to remove the concrete wall, but only in manageable sections, not all at once. Starting from the north side, remove sections, install the new bulkhead behind the wall, not in front of it, as we've been discouraged from doing. If we encounter a footing behind the wall, we would simply shift it back until we miss the footing, but we don't intend to excavate and remove the footing. We intend to remove just the part of the wall that's above grade and collapsing, and remove that in manageable sections, install the sheet piling system, and then continue on in manageable sections, only exposing a portion that could then be reinstalled in a day, so it doesn't leave an exposed bank overnight. Construction access, in this case, is from the north, proposed from the north through the boat ramp parking lot. Now that is land of the town of Falmouth. And we understand that you want permission from the town for accessing over town land. So in anticipation of that, we've written to the Board of Selectmen to gain their permission to access over town land. We had anticipated that this past Monday night we would have been heard before the selectmen, but they put us on next Monday night. So I do not yet have a vote from the selectmen. I expect to have it next Monday night. We would much prefer to gain access from this location. The only other alternatives would be to remove the shed and try to sneak by the house here, or try to fit between the house and the property line and remove a row of mature trees that are over here. This is a very easy access. We will be doing the work in the off-season when there's no cars parked there, or limited demand for parking of cars. It'll be just allow us to drive over the land, no staging, no work on the land, just to drive the mini excavator through in this location. So next Monday night, we're confident we're going to get a vote to allow that access. So if you feel that you need to leave it open until then, we would certainly understand. We would hope that you could condition it upon receiving that approval. There's a couple of other minor activities we're hoping we can get permission to do. They include replacing this existing crushed stone parking spot with some pervious pavers, just to make it a more stable parking spot on this side. And then the same thing on this side of the house. This is sort of utility, shed access, trash and barrels are stored over here. The Medoris basically would like to clean this area up and put a pervious paver surface here or other pervious material just to clean it up and make it a more usable space for them. It's already altered. It's already used for that purpose, but they would just like to try to clean it up.
What's there now, Mike? It is concrete, yeah.
Concrete, yeah.
Yeah. And then finally, on the street side of the house, there's some landscaping, shrubs and other small shrubby plants that aren't really aesthetically pleasing. They're not doing very well, and the Medaris would like to remove those and just have a small drought-tolerant fescue lawn area between the house and the street. The main activity, of course, is the wall reconstruction, but we thought we would ask for these other sort of secondary activities when we were before you. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thanks, Mike. Jen?
Mike, why did you think they were gonna put you on Labor Day? Wasn't this weekend Labor Day, or was that last weekend? That was last week? Oh,
I actually,
no.
I thought they were gonna put us on the previous Monday. I apologize.
Oh, okay.
We had written and requested and followed up with Diane Davidson, but
You're just bad
the
zeros.
chairman just couldn't find room on that agenda, so we had to bump us out
That
because
was
of
this
Labor Day
past,
till,
this past Monday.
if not for Labor Day, we would have been on.
Next time, just give me the heads up on that, Mike. I have one question. How high is the wall right there? I can't remember.
The wall averages about 5 feet tall.
So how are you getting over it?
Oh, I thought you meant the new wall.
No.
Oh, over here, though, this is in effect like a curve, so.
Okay,
there's
yeah,
no
that's
real
it.
grade change.
Okay.
No, it's a 6-foot max.
And is there any way to install the wall prior to taking the concrete up? Or do you have to take the concrete? I think you have to take, in this area, I think you do.
Yeah, if it were a concrete block wall, maybe we could take it
Yeah.
out after, but here it's gonna need to be, jackhammered, broken up, and if the new wall's already there, it's just,
Probably
Yeah.
damage it. We could potentially
Yeah, that's what
damage
I'm
it too,
thinking.
So it might
Okay.
cause more problems.
So it's just in manageable sections. Okay.
So, is that it, John?
Yeah, I don't,
One
we've
other
seen
question.
a
So you
number
take a
of these.
section, put your sheet piling in, and then move on to the next? Okay.
Do you know who's doing the work yet, Mike?
no,
No.
it's out to bid.
Okay.
Courtney,
No questions.
Kristen?
I just, the vote for the selectmen, I mean, I think we've had things like that before and waited. I just will feel more comfortable waiting.
No, that's fine. We can continue it until next week.
Because they're not gonna start it till the off-season anyway,
Yeah.
so.
I mean, Sam might go rogue and just say no.
Depends on how I feel.
You all set? Mary?
No questions.
Jamie?
We can
Condition it?
condition it? What's that, I'm sorry?
What do you say?
Okay.
I guess we.
I mean, if Kristen feels uncomfortable and Mr. Porcelli knows he's supposed to have the permission prior to coming before us, and he could have at least just given me the heads up and asked for a continuance on this one too.
But think
Uh, But I mean, if Kristen feels more comfortable, I mean, we can just wait a week for it. It's not a big deal. I mean, you only have one notice next week and no continuances except for Mike's too, so, it's not that busy of a night next week.
You're okay with that? I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I'm just, we try to manage the time schedules. There's a 21-day issuance of an order or a 10-day appeal period. You try to anticipate selectmen having a hearing, you apply for the notice, and you think in 21 days you should be able to get on an agenda, but they just had busy agendas, and then Labor Day, we didn't consider Labor Day. So, I was just trying to be efficient, try to get everything.
And not one more week is gonna kill you, Mike.
No, I don't think it is. I just explaining why we did it the way we did.
All set, Jamie?
Yes, thank you.
Mark?
I just got a simple question. You're gonna leave the footings behind, is that right? If there are any?
Yeah, we don't want to dig and excavate below grade. We just want to pull off the exposed part of the wall and then just put a new wall in its place, yes.
Should be able to do this.
And that-
Probably rough rod or something to tie it all together, I would imagine.
Well, if there's rebar in it, they're going to have to cut it with torches.
What about this extra footing that showed, is that another footing that's on the line, is that exposed now?
This
Right behind the
labeled,
south part of the.
Yeah, the one that's labeled
Existing-
concrete footing.
they're,
From the dock south.
to be honest, I don't know what they are, but they're there, and I don't see removing those, would probably cause more damage than it's worth.
Yeah. Just wondering what it was.
I don't really know what they were, what they are. They don't really have any relationship to this wall.
It was an attempt at something, though. I know what he's done. All set, Mark?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. You want another question? Chris?
The dune vegetation, is that gonna be disturbed at all, or is that?
No, that should not be disturbed because the access will be through here, and the equipment and installation will occur from this side. The concrete wall will be plucked out, for lack of a better word, by an excavator from the upland side. So there shouldn't be any disruption to the dune.
No, you got a couple of letters from the
Right.
abutters. What we can do, Kristen, is have them submit, and we can go out and take more photos of that area prior to next week's hearing. And then, because, I mean, you've taken the excavator and you gotta bring it out, so there is gonna be some alteration, and then we can always have them supplement some more sand and some more beach plantings in that area if it gets disturbed, which is what we usually do in cases like this when it's up against like beach grass. We did that on a couple of them out on Edgewater, on your ones out on Edgewater. Those side-by-side properties.
Yeah, I saw this one, yeah.
There
This one here
there
was
could
in
be
my
some,
file.
I guess there could be some sort of fringe disruption of the.
Yeah, and
the
that's,
beach
you know, if
grass.
you have
We
to
just-
put a couple of plugs in.
Right.
I think we conditioned that on the, like I said, the ones where you had the side-by-side properties out on Edgewater, that low little wall, because you had that dune right there.
Courtney?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the landscape plan, and I'm seeing that there's a big blob of.
Courtney, that's the wrong plan.
Yeah.
No, you're on the wrong project, Courtney.
All right, I'm not, I'm on the right project.
No, you're not.
All right, I stand corrected. Looks like the same project.
You're not even on the right side of town, Courtney.
Well, I know that. So what else is new?
That's entertainment
Oh, God,
provided
I
by
love you,
Courtney.
Courtney.
It always is.
Father Bird, pardon me.
That would be Father Bird to you, Mr. Matthews.
I'm looking at the, well, it's,
You got it?
See, now he's gonna have to find something, see?
Yeah. Give him a minute.
no, I'm not gonna find anything. Go ahead.
Give
You all
him a
set,
sec.
Court?
I'm fine.
Okay. Anything else?
I just have one other question.
When I
Just
tell,
rolling out
when
this
I tell you
wall,
you're on the plan, don't say, no, I'm not. Just listen to me.
2 feet down. Are you gonna bring in some sand, or are you just gonna
Oh,
hold
I
the
see.
roads into it, or what?
Good point.
If there's a footing below
It
the
didn't make
wall,
any
we're gonna
sense.
drop the new
I
sheet
say
piling
you're not on the right.
in back. If the
Just go
footing
with it.
maybe has a 6-inch reveal, which I'm skeptical will even have, we would pull back on the sheet piling so that we could get the penetration. That may leave, I think what you're alluding to, a small gap between the vinyl and the dune.
And the top of the footing too, of course, that'll.
Yeah, well, that'll just,
Put these out.
that'll be some area that the dune vegetation in that soil might sort of slump against the new wall. And we would just plant American beach grass in that soil right against our new wall.
So you don't plan to put
Sleepy.
any additional sand or soil there?
Hey there.
We didn't anticipate the need for it, but if we did, we would just add a little bit of sand on that
I can
edge.
imagine you will, if the
Yeah.
footing's a foot down.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think that goes with what Jen was saying,
Yeah.
Kristen, about disturbance. I mean,
Anything disturbing?
Yeah, we can supplement, I mean, we can condition it where if that area, you mean the dune area is disturbed, they'll bring in compatible sand and then put some more of the Amophila plugs in at the appropriate time of year. Like I said, we did that on another one of Mike's projects out on East Falmouth.
Okay. Mike, did you
There'll
see
be
that?
Mark, there'll be pre-construction photos, and we have photos and everything, so we know what the area looks like. So if it doesn't look like that, when we go out, you can be like, we're putting some sand in.
Mike, did you see these two letters?
They came in today.
They came in today.
Yeah, you can give him his
Do
copy.
we have, I'm gonna steal your copy.
We have there's, Maury's pile has copies in it too, so you
Oh,
can
okay.
grab those.
Are you-
Yes, makes more sense.
Is there sort of
You know what Coit Bay now, the
Summary of
Father
it.
Bird?
No, they're not
You're on-
that long.
Makes more sense now, Courtney?
I think they're confused that it's not land inside,
Right,
Yeah,
and that the.
What was
the
going
line is
on?
not-
they don't want it
Yeah.
going
Go.
further out,
Oh,
or,
yeah, we're not going further.
no, and it's
We wouldn't
actually,
interfere with beach rights.
no. And I think you're right, they just didn't understand it was on the
Yeah.
landward side of that wall.
Legitimate concerns, but it's.
Yeah, they were concerned that the wall was not to encroach any closer or get any bigger, closer towards Wacoit Bay.
We know better than that.
Yes, you do.
or, well.
It's only
actually-
taken me, I don't know how many years to get to this point.
Now we know better than that.
Yeah, the wall
actually, they
goes
want it
behind
put
the
back to
existing wall.
original position,
Yeah.
but this would satisfy that.
Yeah.
Mark?
Is
Even
there-
the selectmen don't
is
like
there
it when the
any-
bulkheads keep going,
any
right,
beach
Sam?
all in front of the riprap?
Into the harbor?
There is beach in front of the concrete wall, you mean?
Well, your property, it looks like it is, but the one to the south, I can imagine they,
It's, Shots that we took for the elevations are -1. I think that in most highs, there's water there at low tide. It might be a small fringe, yeah,
Already.
yeah.
Tiny bit.
And this will probably take away a little more beach.
Well, there's already a wall there. I don't know that we're gonna change the geology, we're just gonna fix
Well, they're pushing
it.
back a little bit, usually everything sets back a foot, but that's not much. And they don't have anything to lose, so.
Right.
All right. So you want to make a motion to continue for 1 week?
Are you on the agenda for next meeting?
I'm only doing this
Okay. Because the applicant, I move that we continue this hearing until September 21st.
A motion by Mary, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Jamie, to continue the 21st.
That's who's getting filled up.
Any other discussion? Comments, questions? Comments, questions from the public?
Thank you all.
You're welcome. I hear none, I'm going to call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Abstentions unanimous, so moved. Very good. Thanks, Mike.
Night, Mike.
Okay, continued request for a hearing under notice of intent. This is Herb Foster, 199 Surf Drive, Falmouth, Mass. And
Mary, can you read me the quorum on that? I think Courtney forgot to give me that one.
Mr. Clower.
Mark, Mary, Russ, Jamie, Kristen, Courtney.
Yay. Thank you.
That's a quorum?
Welcome.
Yes. This is
I
the
was
one,
here for that.
yeah.
Must have been the second meeting.
No, you're on the court, you're on the quorum. She said court.
I did.
She didn't say Courtney, she said court.
Hearing is complete.
Shocking.
Hi, Kevin.
Mr. Robbins, good evening. Good evening to the board. My name is Kevin Flower.
Come here.
I'm an attorney with Ahmet Law Firm here in Falmouth. As you know, I represent Herb and Diane Foster and with their application for notice of intent for 199 Surf Drive. Following our last hearing, I had a chance to speak with the clients, the applicants, and to speak with the builders and to revise the plans pretty dramatically, mostly in the effort to address the board's concerns and questions at that time. We've also had a chance to address some of the issues that came up during the hearing. I'll begin with the revisions to the ground floor, and the applicant has proposed a fairly significant reduction in the proposed ground floor, specifically the area that is to be enclosed by the breakaway panels. We've reduced it to only be the garage, stairwell, and elevator, which is a reduction of over 500 feet from what had been proposed, which was about 1,217 square feet. It's an even greater reduction of about 600 square feet from the 1,342 square feet that currently exist as non-compliant with flood zone standards at the site. With regards to the breakaway panels, I think it's important to note that wetlands regulations don't have a hard and fast prohibition on breakaway panels. What they say is that that projects within a velocity zone shouldn't have an adverse effect on the wetland resource area. And it goes on to state that activities in velocity zones resulting in alterations to vegetative cover, interruptions in supply of sediment to wetland resources, changes to the form of dune will have an adverse impact, and included in the list of things is construction of foundations other than open pilings. However, what we're proposing doesn't have any of those effects, because this is a vast improvement over what the condition of the lot as it exists today. What we're proposing is adding a significant amount of mitigation plantings to the property. The reduction in the square footage within the flood elevation won't have any adverse effects on the adjacent wetland resource areas. And any adverse effects that currently exist will be significantly decreased. In fact, rather than having any adverse effects, there's positive effects of this project. we're adding that aforementioned mitigation. We're significantly improving the stormwater flow within the site by reducing the square footage within the flood elevation. We're bringing the rest of the building into compliance with the flood zone standards. There's no proposed change to its unit beach, and the structure will be set further back from the resource area by 9.5 feet. There is precedent for this. The Commission has allowed breakaway panels with similar rationale in the past. Most relevant to this is the discussion that the board had at 189 Surf Drive, located directly to the east of this property, directly next door. And during that discussion, the board found that despite an increase in the overall lot coverage by that project, 500 square feet, the applicant was reducing the square footage of the enclosed space and allowed breakaway panels. And that decision was issued less than 2 years ago and directly next door, so the conditions couldn't be more similar. During the last hearing, there was a question raised by Mr. Berg with respect to the concrete wall. The applicant took the position that that had been allowed, and proof of that allowance was requested. To you last week, I submitted a 1990 order of conditions that specifically allowed that concrete wall, as well as a certificate of compliance that was issued by the Commission. The applicant's taken considerable efforts to address the board's questions and concerns. And in doing so, I think has improved the project. He sought to work with you in terms of addressing the issue that you raised. As I said at our last hearing, the applicant's doing exactly what we want homeowners to do. He's bringing his property into compliance. He's raising it to be in compliance with the flood zone standards. He's reducing the risk to surrounding homes by improving his home in this way. And he's taking every effort to do so in a responsible and efficient manner. Given these factors, I would again ask that you grant approval for this project, and we'll be happy to address any questions you may have.
Thanks, Kevin. Jen?
Yes, Kevin, did you bring in designs of your breakaway panels
So,
that Mr. Byrd asked for at the last hearing?
I do have some with me tonight, and in speaking with the structural engineer, he typically uses breakaway panels that truly break away, and I've expressed to him that that is not something that this commission likes due to the concept of it becoming flotsam and jetsam. So we do have a sketch of breakaway panels that can be used on a hook system, which this board has also approved in the past. And I have, and this is just a mock-up, this is not necessarily the exact design that would be used, but this is a mock-up. Jen, how many copies would you like?
One for the file, one for me, at least one for Mr. Byrd, one for everybody. They all need to see them. Mr. Byrd, at least, Russell and Jamie. My construction guys, that'll know what they're looking at.
Courtney, and then a few others. We can share.
As long as you don't just make sure Mr. Bird's on Surf Drive and not in North Falmouth.
I can't think of it. It's smart than that.
Thanks.
Do you need my glasses to record?
No, I'm just looking at this. Looks like a Christmas.
Yeah, I want a copy. Mary, do you have a copy for the file over there?
Yeah,
Okay, that's
I'll
fine.
put this in.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Kevin. Kevin, I do want one thing. These plans you submitted with the architecturals that show the new,
Yes.
they're dated July 15th.
That's
Again,
something I've been working with the architect on.
why doesn't your guy like revision dates, dude? Seriously, I want revision dates on these.
I have, I do have an updated one with a revision date, not on me. I can submit it to you tomorrow.
Yeah, these actually have the,
We caught it and had them change it, but
It was after I submitted to you.
okay, yeah, I need new revision
Yeah, I
dates
can
on all
submit
this.
it tomorrow, yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
And
our clients make
one thing I did want to address was the reduction in the proposed ground floor area, was specifically to address Jen's concern regarding using that space for storage, the previously proposed space.
The board knows how I feel about breakaway panels, so I'm not gonna get into it again. That said, I know that there was a concern with the amount, from the board, with the amount of increased square footage throughout the whole building as opposed to what's there.
It was 200 square feet or something?
No, no, no.
The limits.
Betsy's concern was you had an original footprint of, because you didn't have the open air, I think you called it the open air bedroom on the top floor of, I don't know, what's the existing 1,300?
42, but
Yes.
that strikes me really as an issue for zoning.
You know, and then Betsy's concern was that square footage plus the second floor and adding all of that.
Are you talking about in excess of 200 feet from the velocity zone, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what Betsy was talking about, yeah.
Not everybody sees it that way.
I don't mean, I agree with Mary, it's out of the law.
I think, that, yeah, they've satisfied it being out of
That's-
the velocity zone. Usually in the past, we've been talking about an addition of more than 200 square feet on a structure that remains in the velocity
Yeah.
zone, so.
Well, I wouldn't use terms like that, because you guys look at it as a bird's eye view, and you have never taken the stance that raising the structure technically takes it out of the velocity zone, but I understand where
I'm not sure we've
you're
had
at.
that come before us before.
In
Yeah,
general,
you
we
have.
could also make we could also say it's out of the flood elevation, perhaps.
I would say it's
Okay.
above the base
Right.
flood.
Okay, that's,
Yeah.
I won't say, I agree.
But thank you for reducing the storage area, and that was a concern of mine.
And that was done specifically to address that concern.
Oh, thank you.
That's how much we care, Jim.
I know. I still don't like breakaway panels.
Yeah.
Give me some revised plans though on that. And how are the panels there, Courtney?
I'm just looking at the hinge design, and you say this is drawn up by an engineer?
This was, yes.
Okay.
I didn't
mean,
discuss that.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to make sure that this thing, that the design of it can withstand whatever it is, a Category 3 hurricane. And I'm looking at these half-inch bolts, even though they're 16 on center. And you've got a lot of shear weight there, and I just, it
Yeah, but our
concerns.
accepting this concept doesn't constitute a approval, like, in the building department either.
Yeah.
We'd still need to set, I mean, this is really just submitted for a concept design, more than anything, because ultimately we'll need to submit to the building department, and they'll hold us to FEMA standards and beyond.
Well, is the building department going to accept something like this? Jamie, Russell,
haven't-
Courtney?
No, I don't believe they will.
Well, then why are we looking at it? Why are we looking at something the building department's not going to accept?
Again, it's gonna have to need a heck of a lot more detail than what's here. But this is a concept,
It's a
and I don't have a
concept that
problem
we're-
looking at this.
Oh, okay, but
You know what I
does,
mean? They're
so
gonna
I have a
step and say,
question.
We want a 3/4 eye bolt, or we're gonna
Oh,
want,
yeah, I
you know
don't
what
care
mean?
about. So does the building department accept the hinge walls?
Eladio did. Now we have a new building commissioner, so.
Well, if it's stamped by an engineer, but, and that's all I'm looking to clarify, is that we're not implying that it's gonna be an acceptable design to.
Ultimately, we still
you
need to
know,
go through the building department.
The concept on our end is.
So I guess what I'm saying, Jamie, is what is the, when you say concept, what do you
The
think?
top hinge panel.
Okay, that's what I needed to know,
Because
yeah.
that-
I don't care about what
works the same
bolts they
principle.
use or anything
Right.
like that, I don't care about that. That's what I wanted to get at, thank you.
And again,
Okay.
this is probably more a building department thing, but, the other side of this thing is, besides a hinge, you've gotta have a way of fastening that panel under normal circumstances, but it's gotta be somehow like a shear pin, that when a certain amount of force is applied to it, it breaks away.
It breaks, yeah.
Otherwise, it defeats the whole
And
I've
that's
purpose.
seen
something
them do it
an
with
engineer
nails. Actually, there's 6-penny finish nails.
Oh, I
And
know,
I guess that.
but I mean, that has to be,
That's building
that
department.
has to be incorporated in the design, because otherwise, it defeats the whole purpose of a breakaway panel.
Well, there's a very
Oh, no, I
detailed
agree with you.
description in the code of what you can use. I think there are 10 penny nails on 2 feet centers, up and down.
Yes.
Yeah, on the FEMA
and
code,
that's
yeah.
okay, but like 16 penny, forget it, too strong.
I've seen like I said, I've seen 6-penny finish nails.
Well,
And every
that would
6
be-
inches.
I want revised
And that
plans.
apparently was
10
allowed.
penny is okay, but 16. would be-
Something with a shear pin type effect is all you're looking
I
for.
was gonna submit those 12 copies.
Toenails, not. this
Gee,
way.
thanks.
Toenail, so. Courtney, you all set?
Yeah.
Kristen?
Yeah, the lawn in the front, we decided
You did get a revised landscape plan. I did have the landscape designer, it's in front of you, and I spoke to her yesterday. My days are all
Monday.
blurred together. Monday. Yesterday. I'm dead serious, I'm like all over the place. I did have her move the mitigation plantings that were outside of your well, it wasn't outside, they were outside the buffer zone B, but still within your jurisdiction, the flood zone. I had her move those within the buffer zone B. They do comply with the amount of mitigation required for the project. I did have them take out the Falmouth-friendly lawn designation and replace it with a drought-tolerant fescues designation.
Mary?
I don't have any questions. I appreciate the revisions that were made. And I'm inclined to accept the view of the building department about this.
Jamie?
I'm good, thank you.
Mark?
I'm okay. I think they personally think he did more than he needs to make the bottom area smaller. I don't think that's necessary, but it's nice that he did so. And again, I agree with the others as far as these breakaway panels. We certainly are engineers are competent to assess them, but I personally feel that if they turn out to be literally breakaway panels, I'm fine with it.
What I appreciate is that there's not gonna be as much accommodation for things to accrete over time in storage down there.
That's the staff's
It's not the-
concern.
Create projectiles.
For me, it's not the panels per se so much as, you know,
What's the thing?
the behavior they.
The what's, yeah,
And it's a
and
reasonable
that's,
concern, you know
that,
what I
yeah,
mean?
that's the
Because
concern of the
it
staff,
defeats the purpose if
yeah.
Because that stuff will
it's
fly around.
stuff.
Yeah, but we have no regulations that prevent you from storing a kayak or a substantial sized boat in the backyard, or ladders leaning up against the house, or wheelbarrows or anything else. So I'm not sure why that's any different than storing a few boxes of Christmas decorations underneath the structure.
Mark,
We
I
don't
think we're gonna
control
get
or
along.
regulate that in any way.
No, you won't.
Mark, I think we'll get along.
I'm always gonna disagree with you on that one, Mark.
Okay.
I don't care what they say, you're okay.
Anything else?
You guys good?
You good, Jen?
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody want to make a motion?
Motion to close the hearing, take it under advisement.
Second.
Motion by Jamie and a second by Mary. Close the hearing, take it under advisement. Any other comments or questions?
Revised
comments,
plans,
questions from the
thank
public?
you for the changes, revised plans tomorrow. Tell your guy to put revision dates on his plans to submit to the
Yes,
Falmouth
please.
Concom, and good night, everyone.
Thank you very much.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of closing the hearing, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Abstentions,
Where the
unanimous,
heck
so
did my agenda go? Oh, it's right here in front of me.
I know, I'm lost without it too. We have enforcement issues the next up, but both of them have been continued to when, Jen?
I think we're giving them, oh, I forget what it, Kevin, you don't, do you know, do you remember, or did you and Bob talk about this drought matter of how long I said I'd give him a continuance to? Okay, let's do it a month, Mr. Chairman. Let's give him a couple of weeks.
Can you give me a date?
I am gonna give you
Thank
it
you
right
very
now. 1, 2. How about the 19th of October?
Do I hear a motion?
Sorry, what do we?
Is this both of them?
Both
Yes,
of them.
Both of them
For the
together
enforcement.
to continue.
And just to let you know, they're not just continuing it. Mark and I met out there with them, with, I want to say Jen Exner, but it's not Exner anymore. Jen from Genic Consulting, she, and
So they moved.
Crawford, Jen Crawford. We met out there with Dave Martin. Dave went and staked the site. They're looking for all the tree stumps. Bob Ament and Jen Crawford were in the office this morning looking at the old files, so there is movement on it. I don't want the board to think it's just the can is kicked down the road. There's a substantial amount of investigation in this site.
That's
So,
good. It's
you know,
good
we
to
are
just
working
walk and
with
work and-
the applicant's representatives to move this along, but there's a lot of background. This started before I started, okay? So this was originally a violation dating back to 2002. So there's a substantial amount of background information that we're trying to weed through and everything. And we're just trying to do the best thing for the environment. I mean, where the original violation was, a lot of it is grown back into healthy bayberry, so we don't want to take that just for the sake of replanting it. So we're working with, like I said, the applicant's representatives to address the old violations in the most sensitive way possible and to address the new violation and what we're going to go forward with that, so. We're getting there.
Good deal.
Move to continue the two enforcements to October 18th, did you say?
19.
19.
Second.
Second.
So we got a motion by Mary and a second by Courtney to continue to the 19th. Any other comments or questions?
Good.
Thank you.
Okay, hearing none. Comments, questions from the public? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Abstentions unanimous, so moved. Okay, vote orders and conditions. 3 Valley Road and Lot 130. Ziano?
Hang on, I don't have, all my stuff is downstairs. Quorum is for Valley Road.
I think I'm not on any of these, 'cause
You just hold up there, Mr. Bard.
no, I wasn't here last week.
You just, nobody was here last week, Courtney.
Well, I mean, the week before.
All
Come
right,
on,
you can
don't-
go.
Oh, that's right, you were
Don't
all
make it
ill.
hard.
You can go.
Everybody else.
That's what
Yeah, you are, you're free.
Yep.
How about Mark? Is he here?
Nope, Mark was here.
I think for your transgression earlier, you could have to sit.
I'll volunteer you for something else, Jamie.
Yeah, be careful. Real careful.
This is a team right here.
I know. She thought you guys up. I mean, don't blame me on this.
Sure.
He just agreed with me.
Okay,
I got this.
3 Valley Road.
3 Valley Road, that was the pool that was in the riverfront area. They were expanding the
Nice,
little
Sam.
terrace. They redid the property
you.
lines.
Good night, Courtney.
Night, Sam. Night, Court. They redid the property lines. So, they own both properties, so it was in the riverfront area. It was the pool, the terrace, a little bit of the existing deck inside. It was all in like just outside the riverfront area.
Yep.
Remember?
Yep. now I got it.
Okay.
So was there a question about, what were you calling for the pool, for a wash down for the pool?
Bring down?
Yeah. Did we decide we wanted that,
What?
the drain down for the pool?
We can add one. I thought he had one in there.
Yeah, I thought the response was we've got dry wells. and-
Well, they said that one of the dry wells could be used.
Yeah.
Yes.
Could be used for.
Dry well is,
For the downspout, too.
So what do you want, Jamie? What is it called?
well, it's a drain down tank.
Okay.
They're typically, well, it depends on the pool, but they're, the ones that I've seen have been like 1,000 gallon, and allows it to drain down, but it's controlled. Like, remember, I don't know, a week or two ago, we had one where they were just gonna drain it on the front lawn.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you want them to add a drain down tank for the pool?
I would,
Okay.
because it's a sealed tank, and it's.
Okay, and
for
that's
that
what it's
purpose.
called? Drain down tank?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're pretty typical. They're
So-
not-
Okay, no, that's fine.
Is
I'll
this-
add it. I just need to know what it's called, so I don't put something in there and
There's probably
I
four
have
different
no
names.
idea what I'm talking about. So,
I
Now,
have on my.
I have a question
Yeah,
though.
they don't, yeah, they're not trying to hold the whole pool, just to drain it down for like maintenance
For the
or.
winter.
Okay, so where would they put the tank, Jamie?
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking. I mean,
Well, and they could put,
because they're moving this property line right over here,
Yeah.
right? So could they put it back here?
they could, or they could put it there and put the dry well elsewhere,
Oh, okay.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That I'd leave at their discretion, because again, it's typically a sealed tank,
Okay.
so it's, you know, you wouldn't have to worry about it being. near
Okay,
the
yeah,
pool.
because this is gonna be all lawn in here.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot about that. Okay.
Drain, pull down a little bit.
I also have, in terms
Yeah,
of the
6 inches or
plan
3
that
feet.
we've got,
It
Yeah.
depends.
I
mean,
think
it's
it was
for
Maureen
maintenance,
wanted
so
them
winter
to
you
mark
bring
this
it down,
8-inch
so
oak
you
for
don't have
removal.
to-
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I suggested if they're gonna make that change, that they should remove the word mitigation from the planning notes, because there's no mitigation.
Okay.
38.
So revised plan with 8-inch oak to be removed
Yep,
and mitigation,
reference to mitigation should be taken out.
okay,
Just say,
remove,
it
wait,
should, they say mitigation and restoration plantings. I think shouldn't it just say all native plantings? I mean, they're not doing either one, are they?
Right.
no, they're not. Designate 8-inch oak for removal, and then remove mitigation word.
And restoration. It should
Yep,
just
got
say
it.
native plantings.
Yeah.
Just native. Cool, got it.
Were we agreeing then that they were not to use a dry well to take down the pool level?
No, we're gonna have them install a drain down tank,
Specific for that
The
purpose.
specific
dry
for
well
the
could be
purpose.
moved.
That's a big tank, isn't it?
1,000 gallon?
Drain down tank, 1,000 gallon.
1,000 gallons, a couple thousand gallons?
No, 1,000 gallons, I think, yeah.
That's like your septic tank,
What a-
right?
Well, that's a 50.
But a dry well is only, well, it depends on the size of dry well too, but 200.
Well, they show the
maybe
plan for the
500.
dry well, it's like 6 feet diameter,
Yeah.
including the
No,
gravel around it.
yeah.
It's not very big.
But that's the other point, is you don't wanna drain it, the point isn't to drain it into the grade.
Exactly, you don't want all the
It's
chlorine and
to-
stuff.
It's to contain it.
Yeah,
Drain
'cause I
down
mean, the
tank
dry
is
well is for the
specific for that.
Good reason
downspouts
to
of the
have it.
building.
Just not sure how practical it is, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. and
I've frankly never
Clean
seen
water.
one.
I'm gonna go with my construction guys on this one.
You know,
And that's why I like having you guys around. Even when he is in East
1,000
Falmouth,
gallon's not that big.
and he should be in Wacoit.
But it's adequate for maintenance.
Yeah, I mean, we could say, minimum 500 even.
I'm trying to think of one, again, they're all,
Because
it
they're what,
depends on the size of
6
the pool too.
6 foot by 30.
How about appropriate sized drain down tank?
I like it. And you're the best. That's
Ah. Appropriately sized drain down tank.
Perfect.
Info given to us.
Has that ever been conditioned before like that? That sounds like a big deal to me
We did, we put it,
I thought we have conditioned them.
Basket Road, we did,
Yeah, I thought didn't we do it
just
on,
recently,
what's the one, where you guys were working down in West Falmouth?
Nemasket Road.
Yeah, did we do one there? Yeah, we did. Yeah,
And that's a job that, that I was involved in, that the
Yeah.
original one, and that one actually, I think is like 2,000 gallons.
yeah,
But it's a bigger pool too.
mhm.
Um,
That was a big pool.
yeah.
Yeah. Was. Okay.
Okay, anything else on that, Valley?
I make a motion to accept the order as discussed.
Second.
So a motion by Jamie and a second by Mary to accept the motion as discussed. Any other comments or questions? Comments or questions from, oh no, we're closed, we don't have a public. Okay, I'm gonna call for the vote. All those in favor of aye?
Aye.
Gonna
All those
call you
opposed,
Courtney.
No. Abstentions unanimous, so moved. Next is 23 Zell Street.
My notes are downstairs.
Yeah, I
Zell.
gotta pull a plan also I can.
Zell, they were just redoing the driveway,
Yep,
and then they were
the-
doing the
parking
patio, but
area.
the patio's there, and then there was some confusion about all the different amendments that were going on, and how difficult it was to follow it. And I'm gonna peer over Kristen's shoulder right here. My concern,
Actually,
what did
wasn't-
I ask
This came out
Joel?
small, didn't it?
I think there's really,
The
there was really
proposed.
nothing problematic about
No, I don't remember that there is, yeah.
Cedar, and I don't know why.
I think it's the cedar that's over here. What did you have?
I didn't finish my note, so I don't know. Close and revise it. Yeah, it's something about cedar that I never finished, so.
Yeah, there is a massive cedar tree back here, but it's kind of down between the two structures.
Right.
This one here, then there's a couple others here. But this one is really big right here.
Okay, maybe
In
that
fact, I checked that out.
Isn't that the
other
one
day.
they replanted?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a mitigation tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, they removed it.
That's what it
and then-
was.
Yeah, I saw it the other day, and it looked good, because I was there to do another inspection, and I specifically checked it, so. Looked like it was in good shape.
amazing, because they're so dry.
I know.
Cool.
Really, you know,
Excellent.
was there anything else?
I don't think so.
Yep.
I don't recall anything else. It was very straightforward, I think, really.
You too.
It was, and I do remember the one question I did have for Joel, he was able to answer and alleviate my concerns, because I remember questioning him on one aspect,
Right.
and he was able to answer that, so.
And
Or
originally-
not answer, he was able to clarify it for me.
Yeah, and originally the concern was by the neighbor was runoff from the driveway. They were concerned about the grading, I believe.
Mm-hmm,
And he addressed that.
Yeah, and he did address that,
he did.
because they didn't, just by the numbers, showed you pitching back towards the house. Okay, anything else?
10 o'clock.
Count, entertain a
Kathy's
motion then.
Move to issue the approval order.
Motion to issue the approval order by Mary, second by Kristen.
Speak up, Kristen.
Second.
We can be
Any
like
other
Courtney,
comments
he
or
was
questions?
seconding things and he wasn't even talking.
Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. That's unanimous. Next up is 57 Gunning Point Road.
That was just the amendment to switch the deck to the patio, or the patio to the deck, or something like that. It was, yeah, they weren't moving any closer. It was all very straightforward.
Yeah. I move to issue an approval order on
On
the
the amended.
amendment, yes.
Second.
And second by Kristen.
It's not the order of conditions,
It's an amended, yeah, an amended order.
order.
Approve amended, as discussed. They're switching up their language on you, and they're throwing it.
You all set, Susan?
I guess so. Who made the motion, Mary?
I did.
Mary, and seconded by Kristen.
Okay.
Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Abstentions unanimous, so moved. I need one more motion.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Mary to adjourn, seconded by Jamie. All those in favor of
Was there one
adjourning, say
before
aye.
that also?
Aye.
All those opposed, no.
No.
Abstentions?
Oh, yes,
Unanimous,
you're
so
right,
moved.
it was,
We are
yes.
adjourned.
Don't,